The Nightbeat starts right now.
Well, guess what? The rain chances may not be done tonight.
Yeah, large part of our viewing area under rain right now. Let's go to Adam Caskey with the rain down. The rain down on the rundown. The rundown on the rain. Adam.
It all works for me.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. And keep the rain coming. It's just developing and really starting to fill in on authority radar, and we'll continue to do so in the coming hours as we go through the night and really come to an end, I think, by about 4 to 5 a.m. That's when we'll see the last of the rain. But you see, currently it's all very light in nature. A few embedded moderate showers, not really downpours, just some embedded moderate showers shown by these yellow colors here, currently just west of I-35 in Frio County. Around San Antonio, we do have some of these spotty light showers, but in between them, some of that drizzly dampness. Now, this is one little area of development with the new scan right here near Helotes. One downpour that just popped up. This is near La Cantera, headed toward the rim. Of course, a lot of construction around here. That never helps in the construction situations on the roadways. Sometimes you have poor drainage around those construction zones as well. And again, this rain is going to continue to fill in, and even, I think, entail a few thunderstorms as we go through the night, which means a few cracks of thunder outside. Don't be surprised if that wakes you up. And where we do have the thunderstorms, some of the heaviest downpours, where you could, if you're lucky, see up to an inch of rain. I think most of us far less than that. But notice those rain chances spiking at 70% around midnight, 1 a.m. And then by 5 a.m. down to 20%, 7 a.m. for the morning drive. Rain is out of here, and actually tomorrow is going to turn sunny and warm. A close look at the futurecast, how much rain we've seen so far today and how much more we could get in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Adam. More school closures in the San Antonio area. NEISD will close 3 campuses at the start of the next school year.
That's what the news that we were waiting for last night. And as you can imagine, parents from that district have a lot to say about these closures on social media. So let's read you some of those comments. One person saying, quote, "I'll be pulling my kids out of NEISD." And then we had a comment from someone else who said, "I don't understand why this happened. Please explain."
Someone else said Northeast is landlocked, losing students to districts outside of San Antonio. The Night Team's John Paul Barajas caught up with parents this afternoon at one of the campuses that will soon be closing.
Our heart was broken. There was a lot of great discussion, and then unanimously 7-0, not one school board member voted nay.
There was frustration, concern, and a sense of uncertainty during school pickup at Driscoll Middle School, as that campus, along with Wilshire and Clear Spring Elementary, are set to close next school year.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes.
According to Northeast ISD officials, Monday night's school board meeting decision is in an effort to combat declining enrollment, but it's also fueling parents' worries.
If you had to prioritize which one hurts the most or which one's the biggest concern to you, how would you list those?
I think the individual attention, right? The smaller class sizes, I think were a benefit. Obviously, location is great. I live right around the corner, so it was very convenient.
Driscoll is located near Redland Road and Jones Maltzberger, Wilshire near Rittiman and Harry Wurzbach, and Clear Spring isn't far from Perrin Beidel and Wurzbach Parkway.
Families who have 6th and 7th graders are going to have to figure this out, or, what's the best move, or especially if the bus transportation doesn't take them to their next spot, that's a strain on the family in itself.
NEISD officials say Driscoll students will be consolidated to Garner or Harris, Wilshire students to Northwood and East Terrell Hills, and Clear Spring students to El Dorado, Cerna, and Royal Ridge.
Now the idea is to kind of follow our friends where we can, but that's not a guarantee.
The schools that I think he can go to are miles and miles away from this location.
According to NEISD, over the last 10 years, Driscoll saw a 41% decrease in enrollment, Wilshire Elementary 43%, and Clear Spring Elementary a 27% drop. The majority of parents agree the numbers aren't great, but are anxiously waiting to see what next year has in store.
That when you transition to new schools, it's not guaranteed that the same opportunities you had at your previous school will be the same at the new school.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Other news now, we've learned that someone who used to work for Stockdale ISD or is no longer with that district after being accused of inappropriate conduct. The district says that employee resigned after an investigation. The superintendent says that until an indictment has been issued, the district can't tell us who that former employee is.
Happening tomorrow, he's accused in the death of his wife, Suzanne Simpson. Brad Simpson will make an appearance in court in the morning. Tomorrow will be the first time we've seen Brad Simpson in court in nearly 2 months. Suzanne Simpson's body has not been found yet. A reminder, we'll be live streaming Brad Simpson's appearance for free on the KSAT streaming platforms. They're all free anyway. Our Dylan Collier will be reporting from the courthouse all day with updates on this major story that we've reported on since Suzanne's disappearance last fall.
Now we're also staying on top of a story that shook up downtown San Antonio late last week. Tonight, we've learned the names of the 2 San Antonio police officers who shot and killed 2 teenagers near City Hall after a fiery car crash. Officer Aaron Coronado, who's been with the department for 5 years, and Officer Jimmy Nance, a 3-year veteran with the force, opening fire on the 2 teenage suspects after investigators say they drove a stolen vehicle towards those SAPD officers. Now, police say that 19-year-old Nathaniel Moreno, who was driving that car when it slammed into a downtown building and burst into flames. Moreno and 15-year-old Nicholas Rodriguez were shot and killed by officers. The 2 officers who fired their weapons are now on administrative leave, which is protocol as the department investigates what happened.
It left a mother severely injured and her son permanently disabled for the rest of his life. A Bexar County jury says CPS Energy is to blame for an explosion in 2021 that injured them. A Bexar County jury ordered the utility company to pay more than $100 million in damages. $100 million. Tonight, we got a chance to sit down with the family's attorney, who told us the San Antonio Fire and Police Departments testified that explosion caused by natural gas. That attorney also told us the gas system was installed in that neighborhood in 1960. It has a history of failures. However, CPS Energy contends it is not responsible for this explosion.
What this case shows is that you still have to account for your conduct, whether you're an individual or a big company. And that gives me tremendous hope for both our communities as well as our system. System work the way that it should.
The mother and son still recovering from their injuries from the fire. The son will undergo 32 surgeries over the next 10 years to try to repair the damage.
Another news now, check your pantry. Several cans of tuna fish being recalled over health concerns. Tri-Union Seafoods, which sells to stores like H-E-B and Trader Joe's, says that there was a manufacturing defect with the can's easy open pull tabs. That could lead to a leak over time or a form of botulism, which is a fatal food poisoning. So if you have the product, throw it out or take it back to the store and get your money back. We also have more information and pictures of this on our website, KSAT.com.
I'm Dylan Collier. Coming up, is he a hero officer who broke up a violent crime ring or someone who let his emotions get the best of him while on the job? A controversial excessive force firing on the Nightbeat.
Is it raining at your house? Let's take a live look outside. You see the fog rolling in. Rain is still very much in the picture. Adam Caskey has your forecast coming up.
A San Antonio police detective credited with breaking up a violent crime ring was then fired months later after investigators say that he used excessive force during that case.
Tonight, that officer's attorney slamming the police department and Chief William McManus over what he describes as massive missteps in this investigation. The Night Team's Dylan Collier takes a closer look.
Last June, San Antonio Police Property Crimes Detective Jack Harper developed evidence that 3 teens had committed nearly a dozen car thefts and burglaries over a 9-day period. The minors, described by victims as armed, having even fired shots, including at a vehicle on 281 containing a 7-year-old child. While being surveilled by police the night of June 28th, the teens were spotted in a stolen sedan on Interstate 10. Officers used a stop stick to deflate the car's tires. The teens then ran off, but were captured in this nearby wooded area.
When they bailed out, several officers observed that they were armed with guns.
Harper's attorney, Ben Cifuentes, used Google Earth to piece together for KSAT what happened during the subsequent arrest of 2 of the teens, describing a chaotic scene in darkness, with officers yelling as they ran, a police helicopter overhead, and a canine barking.
you can't distinguish what commands were given.
Investigators contend Harper cursed at one of the arrested teens and struck him in the head with an open hand, and struck a second teen in the head with a closed fist a total of 7 times, even though it appeared the minor was obeying officers' commands. The department also claims Harper interfered with the internal affairs investigation by discussing details of the case with another detective who was a possible witness. In mid-December, Harper was handed an indefinite suspension, effectively ending his 13-year career. In his appeal of Harper's termination late last year, Cifuentes began poking holes in the department's handling of the investigation, describing the uneven issuing of discipline by Chief William McManus in use of force cases, and calling the probe of Harper incomplete.
The sergeant that was standing 2 feet away, that would have been able to look down and have a perfect view of everything that Jack did not report Jack for using excessive force.
Cifuentes said Harper struck the second teen to gain compliance as he struggled to control one of the minor's arms, and that an internal affairs sergeant failed to obtain all body-worn camera footage from that night.
Somehow the media picks up on these things.
Then there's Cifuentes' allegation of disparate treatment, that McManus hands out varying levels of discipline in incidents with similar circumstances.
There's no rhyme or reason for how he views use of force.
Like the officer suspended 10 days last year after tripping a man while detaining him inside his own home. Officers had responded to the wrong address. Or the officer suspended 5 days in 2017 for striking a man in the face, causing him to lose consciousness. The incident happened the same month the same officer was accused of repeatedly punching a teenage girl outside of a Northeast Side event center. Officer Gary Tooley was later indicted for official oppression, but got the charge dismissed for insufficient evidence in the summer of 2019. And then there's the San Antonio man awarded $7 million by a federal jury last year after he was punched and kicked by officers at a far west side construction site in a case of mistaken identity. The man was later paralyzed from the chest down after complications from surgery to treat injuries from the incident. The 3 officers, each given 5-day suspensions.
My deduction is that McManus will make decisions based upon optics and what he thinks the public will like or dislike. And he doesn't really care about the merits of the case.
Here you have a detective who, you can argue, broke up a violent burglary ring, and his reward was to get fired by the police department.
That's well said, Dylan. The person that needs to be punished is essentially free, and the person that was bringing the bad guys to justice is without a job. There's something wrong with that.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
The San Antonio Police Department refused to make Chief McManus available for an interview for this story. Detective Harper's case will now go before a third-party arbitrator, a process that could take several years.
So Cifuentes says that Harper told the chief that he shouldn't have tapped the first teen on the head with an open hand. According to records, Chief McManus took a separate use of force violation by Harper into account when decided what the detective's punishment should be.
All right, we've been talking about the rain outside and the fact that it is far from over. Let's check in with Adam Caskey to give us kind of a timeline on what we're looking for as we head towards the morning, Adam.
And it's going to be done before sunrise, done before the morning commute. That's the nice thing. This is a good timing for rain and some much needed beneficial rain that's coming down outside and will continue to come. Temperatures, here's a big headline too. Let's not let the rain overshadow the big temperature roller coaster that we're on. Temperatures all over the board. Pretty much every season represented here going forward. Temperatures will range from the 30s to near 80 degrees. So I guess all except for summer being represented here. So a few cold mornings and a few warm afternoons. We'll get to that in a moment. First of all, let's get right to the futurecast. It's not perfect, but it's a decent representation of what to expect in the coming hours as these batches of rain develop and move very quickly from the southwest to the northeast. Even a few thunderstorms possible now that the I know the Futurecast shows it right over Seguin. Don't pay attention to the exact location here, just the mere fact that it's in line with our thinking of a few thunderstorms developing. Isolated in nature, but still there is that potential. Downpours within some of those thunderstorms, rumbles of thunder overnight. This is 2 a.m. Don't be surprised if you get woken up or the dogs get spooked from this later tonight. But again, it's done by sunrise. It's all out of here, and it's closer to Houston for the morning commute. We're not going to be dealing with it for the morning commute, but keep in mind, there will be wet roadways left over and some fog for the morning commute. Okay, so here's Authority radar and what's happening right now. I know we took a quick look at this earlier. These showers are flying along at 60 miles per hour. We've got a strong jet stream above, and the steering flow is just pushing these along very quickly. So they are moving fast. So let's put this into perspective here. This one downpour that's in Uvalde County near Concan, right? Near Concan, that one. That's headed to the northeast. That downpour there should make it to Bernie by 11:15 p.m. Just south of Sabinal. Little downpour headed to the northeast, making it to the rim. There we go, come on. By 11:20 p.m. is what that said, at the rim. So anyway, these are moving along very, very quickly, and it's going to add to some of the rainfall that we've already gotten today. And when you look at the 24-hour rainfall accumulations, big picture, a main swath was roughly from Bernie to Bulverde, all the way up through Canyon Lake and into Austin. And remember where you see the bright green on the screen? That's radar estimates of about a ½ an inch. Darker green, radar estimates of an inch or more. And you see I'm just populating some of these areas, but the sweet spot was really up here in Comal County, where we had up to 2 inches of rain estimated by Doppler radar. Not enough to really fill Canyon Lake, but of course we'll take every drop. I think an easy ½ of an inch overnight tonight, but where we have the downpours from thunderstorms, up to an inch. That, of course, begs the question, how much over the recharge zone? So I outlined the aquifer recharge zone in black here. That's the sweet spot for the rain. And the rainfall, really upwards of a ½ inch to an inch, directly over the recharge zone, but also the contributing zone northward, which is good to have it, such as Comal County and Kendall County. So some beneficial rain, not drought busting, just slightly drought denting, better than nothing. Big dip in the upper level flow here. A lot of energy moving overhead with that, along with the overrunning moisture up and over the cool air here. I mean, look at the temperature spread across the state. Laredo 68, 30 in Lubbock, Amarillo at 27. Erratic temperatures. Warmest days will be tomorrow and Saturday, near 80. Otherwise, jacket and sweatshirt weather. Just think of it that way. Wednesday, Saturday, short sleeves A-OK. Otherwise, have the long sleeves ready to go. At 7 a.m., 51 and cloudy, but then by noon, we're sunny and 68, right near 80 for that high temperature tomorrow. 80 in Pleasanton, 84 Sabinal, 75 in Helotes, and 76 tomorrow in Bulverde. Look at the morning temperatures too. Down to 37 on Valentine's Day morning. 37 degrees to start the day, hubba, hubba. And then we'll be in the 30s again Monday morning. And those will be kind of the low points temperature-wise.
Hubba, hubba?
It's a very technical weather term.
It is, yes.
Hubba, hubba,
yes.
in case you wonder.
Ooh la la.
Right, that's right.
It's a good thing that basketball is an indoor sport, especially now that we're talking about playoff action for high school girls basketball.
Yeah, they got underway last night with a handful of games. We had more games this evening. We were able to get to 2 of those games. Brendan taking on Johnson, and Sam Houston versus Southside. And Southside, the Lady Cardinals upset Sam Houston, and Dirk gets his call to the hall coming up. The high school girls basketball playoffs are underway, and out at Northside Sports Gym tonight, the Brendan Bears were in action, looking to make a deep playoff run, but first they have to get past Johnson. Early in the game, Brendan's defense led to offense as Bella Fleming steals it and takes it to the rim for 2 points. Johnson ball now, quick pass inside as Sarah McFarland finishes off the glass, but the Bears defense no joke as Naisha Townsell will finish off the fast break off the still as Brennan would go on to get the win 61-54. Over at the Alamo Convocation Center, number 11 in Texas, Sam Houston was in a 4-point game against Southside at the start of the second half. The Hurricanes swing it over to Jakaya Caldwell, who's on fire from deep, but the Lady Cardinals' Michaela Flores was unstoppable tonight, knocking down a deep three. Then when they double-teamed her, Flores hits the runner off the glass for 2 of her 22 points. As Southside gets the upset win 38-29, and the Lady Cardinals couldn't be happier to share this moment with their community.
Honestly, it means a lot to, make our community proud and to come and win another playoff game. I'm sure they're proud of us, and it's because of them we're here, so I'm very thankful for that.
Oh my gosh, it feels amazing. We all work hard. We all want what's best for each other, and we just push each other like every day. Like in the locker room and halftime, we all knew we wanted it. We listened to each other, we trusted, and now we get to celebrate together.
The Lady Cardinals will either face Kerrville-Tivy or Liberty Hill in the area round later this week. And how about this? Number 1 Wagner edged out number 2 Leander Glenn tonight 56-55. They are the top 2 ranked teams in Texas in Class 5A. It's time to meet 5 more high school student athletes selected to play in the 2025 San Antonio Sports All-Star Basketball Game. These Mustangs, Dragons, and Pirates help to make up the 125 basketball players picked to show off their skills in the All-Star Game. These high school seniors will represent Southwest High School, Nixon Smiley High School, and Poth High School.
It feels great. I feel real special.
And what does it mean to you to be representing Nixon Smiley in this game?
It feels good. You know what I'm saying? Stand out. We're a small school. We're at 3A. And usually they don't get picked for these kind of things, you know what I'm saying? I just want to show out for my hometown.
It means so much. I feel so blessed, and I'm so thankful that God brought me here.
What does it mean to you to represent Nixon Smiley in this game?
That also means a lot because it's like a 3A school, and it's real small, and nobody really gets to do stuff like this.
I feel very thankful to be able to have this opportunity to come here.
Okay. And tell me your feelings that you have one of your teammates in the game with you.
I'm very lucky to have somebody that I know with me to, bounce off of or just to be with.
And you have a teammate with you. How cool is that?
It's very cool. I'm excited to play with her and just do what we do together.
Okay. What do you guys do together?
We compete a lot, and we are best friends, and we know how to push each other and work hard.
It means a lot, I'm definitely grateful for it. I feel like Southwest is really overlooked a lot too in general, so given the opportunity to be able to put on for them, I'm really grateful for it.
And when it comes All-Star Game Day and you're on the court with some of the best in the city, what are you looking forward to?
Just that experience, that moment to be able to share it with a lot of the best athletes and basketball players in the city. It's really cool.
It is cool indeed. The newest members of the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame after